Hi everyone, it's Nandi. Welcome back to Vibrant Authentic Living. I want to talk about breastfeeding. Right? So, I breastfed all my four babies, and I'm a firm believer in breastfeeding. For the first 6 months, they had only breast milk, and then I fed them up to 2 years, pretty much each of them 2 years on breast milk, and then gradually introducing fruit juices, and other things. Typically gradually introducing the things that the rest of the family eat. But for the first 6 months, only breast milk. And for the first couple days, that colostrum, that slightly yellowish milk called colostrum, is very important for the baby in terms of developing their immunity, giving the antibodies that are needed. So it's very important for the baby, and definitely I never held back on that, and I'm really happy that all my babies were breastfed. And people always used to say to me, your babies are always thriving, they always look so plump and rosy, because when they were just on breast milk, they would be, they would look so plump. They were just thriving, they would always thrive. And no issues, no digestive issues, nothing like that. They were just happy, pleasant, thriving babies. And so I would breastfeed them up to 2 years, and then I would gradually start weaning them, and they would always resist the weaning. So even after 2 years, whenever I tried, gradually weaning, I always had resistance. And I was even saying if I could go beyond 2 years, but usually my body at the time, after 2 years, I started getting really skinny, breastfeeding beyond 2 years. So I knew that was a sign telling me I needed to start weaning them, right? So and wherever they wanted their breasts, they could get it. Whether I was walking on the road, literally walking on the road, they would, because they had a tendency to just go and pull it out. They knew what was theirs, so they would just go and take it out. And I would just, whatever I was doing, wherever I was at, I would stop that and attend to them and make sure that they got their breast milk. And breastfeeding, the stage in my life when I'm breastfeeding, that's really the only stage when I get to have voluptuous breasts. Outside of that, see, my breasts are pretty small. When I have babies and I'm breastfeeding, my breasts are huge. You can actually feel that milk, flowing in, flooding in. And there's a particular herb that I would take, the tea, the red raspberry, that's very good for milk production. There are a couple other herbs as well, I can't remember them now, but I know definitely the red raspberry leaf tea, I would drink that every day. And it's generally a good herb for the female reproductive system, and also a good herb for stimulating that milk production. And of course, drinking lots of water, coconut water, that kind of stuff. Sorry, and I noticed that whenever the baby was getting hungry, it's like your body would know. Whenever the baby starts getting hungry, you just feel your breast starting to flood with milk. That's something that I experienced. You just feel it filling up, and then you would hear the baby crying for milk, or the toddler coming. My toddlers would just come and say, breasts. Want breasts, want breasts. They just on demand. You had to be there on demand. I would be in the supermarket line waiting, going up to the cash register, and the baby would decide breast. Whether baby or toddler would decide breast, and I would feed him right there, him or her. I remember once I was in the line at the supermarket, and the manager came to me. I was feeding the baby. The manager came to me and said, "Would you like a seat? We have a seat over here for you. You can come and sit." And I went and sat and fed the baby, and they cashed me. They cashed me separately. But I certainly, there was no, why would you feel shame for giving your baby food, the food that was naturally meant for him or her? The food that was, the breast milk is like rainwater on plants. Have you ever noticed? You'll be watering the plants with the tap water day in, day out, and yeah, they come in, but they barely come in, and then one shower of rain, and it just starts thriving. There's something in that rain. No matter how they tell you about the rain is polluted and whatever, there's something in that rain that the plant is craving for. So likewise, there's something in that breast milk. No canned milk can take the place. No formula. No cow's milk can take the place. Your baby is not a cow. Your baby is not a calf. So your baby is a human baby who needs human milk. And that is what he or she is craving for in order to thrive, to bloom. Just like all the plants, once they get that rain, right? And I definitely saw that with my babies. Everybody used to say, they just always thrive, they just look so healthy, they're so pleasant, they're so alert. And that's all they had. Only breast milk for 6 months. And breast milk and fruits and other stuff up to 2 years. And they reached all their milestones or surpassed their milestones. And I didn't have any issue with them, no digestive issues, no allergy issues, nothing like that. So I'm definitely here to promote breastfeeding. We should embrace it. It's a natural, normal thing to do. And when you have that baby, anytime that baby is ready for breasts, if they're not old enough to say breasts, or as my son used to say, breasts. Whenever I hear him say breast, that's what he's ready for. If they're not old enough to speak and demand it, request it, then they have ways of letting you know they're ready. And when they're little, what I used to like, lying down on my side and letting the baby lie and feeding the baby like that. To me, that's a natural way to feed, even more than holding the baby like this in your arm and feeding. It felt more natural to me to lie down and have the baby lying down and suckling. And I kind of miss that, I have not breastfed in 11 years. 11 years. My last child will be 13 in a couple days. In a couple days from now, he's going to be 13, right? And so I haven't breastfed in 11 years. So I kind of miss that, that feeling when they just start, when they're from a couple days to weeks to months, and then the breast can be really sore, and it can be a turn off, especially for new mothers. But trust me, you will get used to it. You will get past that stage. The soreness will go away, and you and the baby will get used to that rhythm, that suckling. you'll get used to it, and it will just feel like second nature to you, which it really is, right? So don't worry about that little pain, that little tenderness you're going to feel. You'll get past that, right? And if when the teeth start coming in, yes, you're gonna get a little nip, a little couple bites. But trust me, it's all worth it, and they're just exercising their little pegs, seeing if they work. So just allow them to do that. Just bear it, grin and bear it. It's for a worthy cause. It's for letting our babies thrive and benefit from the goodness that your own body has produced just for that child. Your body produced that just for the needs of that particular child. Each time the milk is different. The milk for that baby is different from the milk that was produced for your other babies. Your body knows what your baby needs. Right? So follow your intuition, follow your instinct. Not everything, is empirical and you have to go search in the books. Follow your maternal instinct. Not everything you're going to be able to explain to anybody why you're doing it. Just follow that instinct that's inside your body that's telling you, feed the baby the food that was made for that baby, just for that baby. Right? This is Nandi signing out. I'll see you in the next video.